Today we're going to start language by deciding if we have a preposition or an adverb in our sentence. Okay, you tell me what is up. Up is a adverb. Up is an adverb because there's no phrase after it that goes with it, so it's just an adverb. But there is a prepositional phrase in there. Can you see it? It is toward the heavens. What is during? It is a preposition because the phrase is during study hall. During study hall. Study is actually an adjective describing the hall. What is down? Down is an adverb because completely is an adverb as well. And for a phrase, it needs an object. For a preposition, it needs to have an object or a best friend, and the object can only be a noun or a pronoun. Okay, what about by? By here is a preposition. The two phrases you have are into English and by John Wycliffe. What's the phrase? With me. With me, is it? What's the phrase on this side? Before mine eyes. Before mine eyes. All right. Let's see. What is between? Between is actually a preposition because you have the phrase between Canada and the United States. What is down? Down here is an adverb because there is no phrase with it, but there is a phrase after it, and it's during the hurricane. What is on? On is a preposition. You have on the street. The phrases here, we actually have three. In the straw, for us, on her harmonica. What is this one? Up is a adverb. In a whirlwind is the preposition. Along the walkway is the prepositional phrase. And let's try one more. By a sudden avalanche is one, and of snow is the other phrase. So you've just gone over the difference between a preposition and an adverb. A preposition has to have an object or its best friend right next to it. So you're going to take Language Quiz 20. Language Quiz 20 over interjections and over conjunctions. Don't forget your conjunctions are fanboy, for and nor, but or yet. And your interjections, remember, if it gets an exclamation point, then you would start the next word with a capital letter if it's showing strong feeling. So take your Language Quiz 20 and then press play for this. Okay, so we're going to go over page 226, practicing with a dictionary. Use the guide words to find these dictionary entries quickly. Write the first definition for each entry, okay? Now, all of us have different dictionaries, so we'll all have different answers, I'm sure. But if you're going with me, then you'll use mine. Okay, the first word is, and I know this, but I don't know if you do, it's coagulate. Ready? Coagulate. C-O. So we're looking for C-O at the top. That's what I usually do. Look at the first C-O-A. So right now I have C-O-D, so I need to go back. Oh, now I have C-O-A-T, but mine is C-O-A-G. Oh, it must be on this page. C-O-A-G. Yep, coagulate. So the first definition is to change from liquid to a thickened mass. To change from a liquid to a thickened mass. That's what your answer is. For example, like your blood, if it coagulates, it means it like sticks together and almost clots, okay? All right, our next word is lacquer. L. So I'm going to use my other dictionary. L-A-C. L-A-C-Q. And if you know your guide words, it will really help, because mine right here is LAU, so I know I need to keep going back. LAB, so I need to keep going forward. LAC, LACK, but mine is LACQ. So, but I know it's on this page, LAQ. I'm sorry, I lied. I mean LACQ. I didn't lie, it is on here. LACQ, lacquer. Lacquer is a varnish used to give a coating or shiny appearance to metals, wood, or paper. Lacquer. So when I was younger, my mom would lacquer the deck every year. So the wood was plain, and she would put this shiny coat, so the deck looked really nice and like a shiny wood instead of just like a worn down wood. You can put this on the top of surfaces to make them nice and shiny, is a lacquer. Now, number 3, our floors at school. You know when Mr. G will put the shiny coat? That is lacquer. Number 3, pulverize. P-U-L. Sometimes I would tell my brother, I will pulverize you. We were just kidding, of course. P-U-L, puppy fat. P-U-L, sorry, I was just looking at P-U-L-V, pulverize, means to grind to powder or dust. That's the first definition. So, to grind into powder or dust. I'll pulverize you. I used to pulverize chicken before cooking, because if it's thick, it gets tough, but if you pulverize it, it makes it nice and tender. So you take a pounder and just pound it. Now the next word is nethermost. Nethermost. You might say that Jesus forgives our sins to the uttermost. Let's see, N-E-T, N-E-T, N-E-R, N-E-T, nethermost. Nethermost means, the lowest, the lowest. All right, the next word is I, so I'm going to use my other book, islet. I, use your IR, which we want IS, ISA, ISL, ISLET. Alright, so we're going on an islet, like an island, okay? So an islet is a small island. Okay, so that's the first definition there. Now, think B. That was pretty easy. Write the dictionary pronunciation for each of these words. So the first one is Adobe. Let me just see if I can show you this. Okay, can you see? Can you see this kind of clearly now? Adobe, the upside down E, Adobe, and the punch is on dough. Adobe. You can see. The next one is duh, duh, Bree, and the emphasis is on Bree. Now, Griffin, I know that your brother's class always talked about Deborah and Debris, right? You can ask him. Okay, debris. Now you got me saying Deborah. All right, now the next one, L-E-I. Oh, I love those. It's a lay, pronounced lay, L-A. And you know, for Hawaiian Day when we wear those. Now the next one is A-B-A-L-O-N-E. And this is abalone. Abalone, okay? And the last one is not a tortilla, it's a tortilla. Can you see that? It's a tortilla. All right. Great job. Sitting that back there. And we're on to write C. Write the part of speech that the dictionary lists for each of these words. Write one sentence with each word and label its part of speech. So when we get done, you can make a sentence for each one of these and tell me what it is for each one. For example, I could say, I plugged, you can change the variation of it with a different suffix, but you could say, I plugged in my space heater. That's what's keeping me sort of warm in this building right now. I plugged in my space heater. That's a verb. Now, I could say, you could also say, I plugged my space heater into the plug. And that plug at the end would actually be a noun. So, let's look at our dictionaries to see. So, plug, we won't look that one up because I just told you it could be either a noun or a verb. Now, bay, B-A-Y. Down by the bay, where the watermelons grow. Back to my home, I will not go. For if I do, my mother will say, did you ever see a fly wearing a tie? Down by the bay. Down by the bay, bay, bay. Okay, bay. Bay, 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 bay. Okay, so a bay can either be a noun. We've learned about a bay. It can also be a verb. And the bay is like a barking, if it's a verb. And it can also be an adjective. It can also be an adjective. And that means it's a color, reddish brown. Like a bay horse is a reddish brown horse. And then a bay, like the noun, is a sea or a lake. So you use bay as a sentence. And tell me if it's a noun, adjective, or verb. The next is set. Ouch. Set. So, set. S-E-T. S-E-T. Set. A set. A set can be a verb that means to put or place something. It can also be wow, there's a lot of definitions. It could be a noun, talking about a number of things belonging together, like a set of dishes, a set of teeth. It can also be an adjective, talking about like a set time, a set rules. Like our set time for Zoom is noon every day. So it could be a verb, an adjective, or a noun. The next one, iron. Yeah, we've already talked about this. Iron, we have like ironclad. That's an adjective. We have to iron your clothes. That is a verb. And we also have iron, like the metal, and that is a noun. So it could be a noun, an adjective, or a verb. Now the next one is loose. Loose can be an adjective, talking about like a loose tooth or a loose clothing. It could be a verb, saying loose him, like let him free. It can also be, ouch, sorry. It can also be an adverb. An adverb meaning loosely. So it could say like our manners set more loose upon us. It could be an adverb. And I feel like it can also be a noun because it doesn't have that in my book, but if you say something is on the loose, that means that it's a noun. All right, number 6, level. Level. Well, we know it can be a noun. We know it could be a noun, and a noun version of it means like something that you could set like on a flat surface, something that is level. You could talk about a water level and like the height above sea level. That would be a noun. An adjective, you could say, oh, that person is level-headed. Level could be a adjective there. And you could also have it as a verb. If you are supposed to level something, maybe you are raising a gun and you are leveling it. That means you're studying it. So it could be all three of those types of speech. Now go to page 227. Now don't forget to take your language quiz 20 if you haven't already and post it. And also to make sentences for those that we just did. You did 227 for homework the other day, but let's look at the top. Reviewing parts of speech. A noun. A noun is the name of a person, place, or thing, or idea. A verb. It's something we can do, or we have a verb. It is a state of being, or it is an action. A pronoun takes the place or substitutes a noun. An adjective describes noun or pronouns. An adverb describes verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. A preposition shows a relationship to another part of the sentence. A conjunction, fanboy, groups words or groups of joins words or groups of words. An interjection shows strong or sudden feeling at the beginning. Okay, let's look at think B. Underline the verbs twice and the subjects once. Draw an arrow from each adjective or adverb to the word it modifies, and then diagram those sentences. There's only 4. It's not too bad. Number 1. The verb, we always start with the verb. The verb is can sing. Can sing. Who can sing? Mom. Underline mom once, can sing twice. And then words describing mom. My is an adjective describing mom. And then can sing how? Beautifully. Beautifully is an adverb describing can sing. So draw an arrow from beautifully to can sing. To, so, and very are always adverbs describing the very next word. So very is describing beautifully. Let's diagram. Remember, we start with the verb, and then we put the subject. Any words underneath. We put underneath the word they're describing. So, I finished. Have you? Mom can sing. My mom can beautifully can sing. Now look, my is an adjective describing a noun. Beautifully is an adverb describing can sing. Where does very go? You're right, very goes on this side, but very is describing the very next word, which is beautifully. So we do not write very, because then it will say very can sing. And that does not make any sense. We actually have to put an arm here and put very, because it's saying very beautifully. Did you get it? I hope so. All right, now let's go into the next one. The verb is climbed. And the noun is, or the subject is Jimmy. Jimmy climbed. Down is describing where he climbed, and carefully is describing how he climbed. And so neither of them is describing Jimmy. You can't say carefully Jimmy or down Jimmy. Down Jimmy, down. So we're going to diagram this, and down here is not a preposition because there's no phrase. Jimmy climbed. So view our diagramming. Should look something like this. Jimmy climbed, and then carefully and down underneath climbed. Number 3. The verb is hiked. The subject is, right, campers. What words are describing campers? The adjectives describing campers are the campers, 5 campers, happy campers. And then cheerfully is describing hikes. So draw your arrows to each one. And then let's diagram. Wow, I kind of did it a little bit crooked. Campers hiked. How did they hike? Cheerfully. Cheerfully hiked. Remember, if a word ends in ly, there's a really good chance that it is an adverb. Unless it's the word friendly. Okay. Campers hiked. The campers, 5 campers, happy campers, cheerfully hiked. Last one, will he be here tomorrow? The verb, well, it's a question, so we have a verb sandwich, will be. He is the subject, and then here is an adverb describing will be. Tomorrow is an adverb describing will be. Tomorrow is saying when. Here is saying where. And some of you might have tried to mark here as a verb, H-E-R-E, but you cannot hear. You can H-E-A-R here, but you cannot H-E-R-E here. And if you diagram, it should say he will be here tomorrow. All right. That's it for language today. Work on your pages and don't forget to upload your quiz. I'll see you later.